The 20 mm caliber is a specific size of cannon or autocannon ammunition. There are few weapons, aside from shotguns, large game hunting rifles, and heavy caliber muzzle-loading rampart or wall guns popular in the early mid-19th century European militaries, which have been built that fire projectiles between 12.7 mm, such as the 12.7 mm NATO, and 20 mm caliber, though there were several 13 mm heavy machine guns used during World War II, such as the MG-131. The 14.5 mm caliber is still used by some Soviet machine guns such as the KPV and anti-tank rifles such as PTRS, PTRD, and NTW-20. 15 mm was also widely used by the Germans during World War II, such as in the MG-151, and the British as well to a lesser extent in the 15 mm version of the Besa machine gun, which was used on armored cars and some light tanks. Since 20 mm is the cut-off point where most nations switch from bullets to shells, it has come to also generally be the cut-off point between weapons classified as a machine gun or a cannon. This can vary, however. For example, in World War II, Japan classified any weapon over 11 mm as a cannon. Thus, in Japanese records, their 12.7 mm Ho-103 aircraft gun is classified as an autocannon, as it used explosive shells to overcome its lower muzzle velocity compared to American 12.7 mm/.50 BMG weapons. A machine gun does not fire shells, so historically a weapon that fires shells below 20 mm can be a cannon. A true definition will always mention whether the weapon fires bullets or shells in addition to its caliber. A very small number of anti-tank rifles have been produced in 20 mm and larger calibers. 20 mm caliber cartridges have an outside bullet diameter and inside barrel diameter of 0.787 inches, 20.0 mm. Projectiles or bullets are typically 75 to 127 mm, 3 to 5 in, long. Cartridge cases are typically 75 to 152 mm, 3 to 6 in, long. Many but not all 20 mm rounds have an explosive filling and detonating fuse. As an example, the RT-20 rifle fires a 20 x 110 mm 130 gram projectile at a muzzle velocity of 850 m/s. For a simple slug, this gives a muzzle energy of 47 kilojoules. Usage. Like most cannon ammunition, 20 mm caliber weapons are typically used against large targets such as vehicles, buildings, or aircraft. Though lethal against individual soldiers, 20 mm ammunition is so large and heavy that its effects are inefficient against relatively small targets. Types of ammunition. High explosive, HE. High explosive incendiary, HE. Armor piercing, AP. Armor piercing incendiary, API. Armor piercing discarding sabot, APDS. High explosive fragmentary tracer, HEGT. Penetrator with enhanced lateral effect, PELE. Target practice, inert projectile, i.e., PGU-27A/B. Used for training. TP. Target practice tracer, inert projectile with tracer material in base for visual trajectory tracking, i.e., PGU-30A/B. TPT. 20 mm weapons. Each weapon is listed with its cartridge type appended. Current weapons. Vid-1 SAC, 20 x 82 mm. Anzio 20 mm rifle, 20 x 102 mm. MK4 20 mm cannon, 20 x 110 mm RB Ehrlichen S. HS804 20 mm cannon, 20 x 110 mm. MK16 20 mm cannon, 20 x 110 mm. RT-20 bolt-action rifle, 20 x 110 mm. Denel NTW-20, 20 x 82 mm Mauser or 20 x 110 mm Hispano caliber. M61 Vulcan, 20 x 102 mm, PGU-28/B. M197 Gatling gun, 20 times 102 mm. M39 cannon, 20 times 102 mm. GIAT M621, 20 times 102 mm. ZVPL 20 Playman, 20 x 102 mm. Ehrlichen Ka and Cab, 20 times 128 mm, formerly the Ehrlichen 204 GK and 5 TG respectively. America, 20 times 128 mm. Ehrlichen KAD, 20 times 139 mm, formerly the Hispano-Suiza HS.820. GIAT M693/20 mm Model F2 gun, 20 times 139 mm. Rheinmetall RH202, 20 times 139 mm. Dienel Land Systems GI2, 20 times 139 mm. Historical weapons. Becker Type M2 20 mm cannon, 20 times 70 mm RB. Bofors M/40, 20 times 145 mmR. Bofors M/45, 20 times 110 mm. Bofors M/49, 20 times 110 mm. Berezin B20 20 times 99 mm. Breda Model 35 20 times 138 mm. Colt Mk12 cannon, 20 times 110 mm USN. Mk12 is an advanced derivative of the HS.404. Hispano-Suiza HS.404 and derivatives, 20 times 110 mm. Lottie L39, 20 times 138 mm, Solothurn long. Madsen 20 mm anti-aircraft cannon, 20 times 120 mm. Mauser MG 213, 20 times 135 mm. MG/FF/M cannon, 20 times 80 mm RB. Mauser MG 151/20, 20 times 82 mm. NKMWZ.38 FK designated, heaviest machine gun HMG or Najcz Karabin Mazinawi, NKM, A/at 20 times 138 mmB autocannon. Ehrlichen FF, 20 times 72 mm RB. Ehrlichen F, FFL, 20 times 110 mm RB. Paulston, 20 x 110 mm RB. Rheinmetall Flak 38, 20 times 138 mmB forerunner of Hispano-Suiza HS.820 post-war 20 times 139 mm round. Rheinmetall 2 cm KWK 30, 20 times 138 mmB. Scotty 20 mm, 20 x 138 mmB. SHVAK, 20 times 99 mmR. Solothurn S18/100, 20 times 105 mmB. Solothurn S18/1000, 20 times 138 mmB. Type 97 automatic cannon 20 times 124 mm. Type 99 cannon, 20 times 72 mm RB, Model 1, 20 times 101 mm RB, Model 2. Ho 5 cannon, 20 times 94 mm. Gonkrinka Fortress Rifle, 20,3 x 95 R, bullet diameter 21 mm. Cartridge type indicates the diameter of projectile and the length of the cartridge that holds it. For example, 20 times 102 mm is a 20 mm projectile in a 102 mm long case. Only rarely do two designers use the same case length, so this designation is usually definitive. Some cartridge types have additional letters or information about them listed.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.